From shocking stories to amazing revelations. Today, I'll show you the best educational videos from the most popular streaming platform. Let's get to it. The best documentaries on Netflix 2023. My Octopus Teacher. Attention ocean and animal lovers. Can you imagine finding a female octopus at the bottom of the sea and developing a deep friendship? That's exactly what happened to swimmer Craig Foster, who would dive into the depths of the ocean every day to visit her. This documentary makes it clear that humans can connect better with animals through empathy and love. Get ready to watch an incredible story of friendship between species. Athlete A. Here, you'll discover how Larry Nassar, the doctor for the U.S. Olympic gymnastics team, became the biggest sexual predator in the history of sports. It collects the testimonies of some of the over 150 victims and analyzes why the abuses were allowed to continue for more than 10 years, and whether there was an attempt to cover up by the authorities, because it wasn't until 2018 that Nassar would be sentenced to over 100 years in prison. A rough documentary that is by no means devoid of relevance, which will tug at your heartstrings and highlights the importance of supporting victims. Cuba and the Cameraman. It's time to learn about the story of 3 Cuban families during more than 40 years of socialism on the island. This documentary has everything, from the initial enthusiasm for the revolution to the mass migrations to the United States through the scarcity of food and medicine. The most interesting thing of all is that the filmmaker of this documentary, John Alpert, has sympathy towards Fidel Castro. But despite this, he manages to combine his favorable view of the character with the portrayal of the disasters that Cuba experienced under his leadership. If you want to know more about Cuba and break away from commonplaces, this documentary is for you. 5 Came Back. This documentary lasts 3 hours, but it'll hook you just as much as the best Netflix series. It's the story of 5 Hollywood directors who, at the height of their fame, decide to go to the World War II battlefield to film movies that help lift the morale of the American people. Such bravery. Meryl Streep's voice will guide you through this journey in time, and it features the participation of 5 current directors, such as Steven Spielberg or Guillermo del Toro, who reflect on the decisions and motivations of the heroic directors of those years. In the Name of God, a Holy Betrayal. This is an 8-episode South Korean documentary about 4 religious leaders who called themselves prophets and created cults around their figures. The result? Blind faith from their followers, abuse, and all sorts of madness. The episodes feature different testimonies from the victims and will make you think about all the dangers of blind faith. So, if you're looking for a fun way to spend your time while learning about the dangers of religious fanaticism, this is what you're looking for. Wild, Wild Country. This 6-episode documentary is about the religious community founded by Indian guru Osho, who preached a spiritual path based on meditation and free sex. Osho left India, where he was subjected to strict government control, to move his community to the state of Oregon. However, problems with U.S. authorities soon arose. This documentary has a fast-paced rhythm, and each episode ends with suspenseful scenes that invite you to hit play on the next episode. Fantastic Fungi. What can be fun about mushrooms? A lot! This feature film explores the world of mushrooms from the perspective of various experts. Fantastic Fungi will captivate you with facts you didn't know, the colors or strange shapes they can take, and how wonderful these beings are. Mushrooms are much more fascinating than you imagined. In Our Mother's Gardens. This documentary invites you to learn about the story of strong and empowered women. It's based on interviews with African American women from states like Mississippi, Louisiana, and Kentucky. Through their voices, we'll discover their experiences with oppression and racism, but also how they've overcome these obstacles and found their own identity. It's a feature-length film that will inspire you to fight for justice and equality for all. The Square. This feature film narrates the bloody days of the Egyptian uprising in 2013 against the government of the Muslim Brotherhood in Egypt, led by Mohamed Morsi. It has no narration or voiceover, as the interviews and archival footage speak for themselves. Here, you'll witness how the most brutal violence erupted on the streets of Cairo and how the military took control of the country. But beware, not everything is what it seems. After the coup, Abdel Fattah al-Sisi rises to power and begins a dictatorial regime that brutally ends the Arab Spring. A documentary that will leave you breathless. Life in Color. Life in Color is a documentary that will take you on a wild journey through different ecosystems around the world. From equatorial forests to the coasts of Scotland, it teaches you how animals perceive the world around them and the important role that color plays in crucial aspects, such as mating, caring for offspring, camouflage, and predator deterrence. It's also aesthetically stunning, with special cameras and advanced technology that allow you to see beyond the spectrum of colors that humans can perceive. Simply amazing. Tiger King. This documentary is a portrait of the madness and chaos that ensues when tigers, eccentric people, and weapons come together in the United States, a country with more tigers in captivity than in their natural state worldwide. It's a mix of a reality show and a crime movie. With such eccentric characters as Joe Exotic, the quirky owner of a zoo in Oklahoma, and his rivalry with Carol Baskin, an animal rights activist whom he tries to have killed unsuccessfully, which lands him in prison. In short, it's a film full of intrigue, police events, and WTF moments. Black holes, the edge of all we know. Welcome to the most thrilling scientific adventure of your life. This is a feature-length film that explores the science behind black holes. The mystery is tackled in such an interesting way that it'll hook you immediately. You'll follow a group of scientists from the Event Horizon Project who are attempting to take a photograph of the black hole at the center of the M87 galaxy. It'll be almost like being part of their team. If you want to experience the excitement of a scientist behind a new discovery, this documentary is for you. Stutz. Actor Jonah Hill delves into the fascinating world of psychology with a talk that will leave you amazed. He sits down to chat with his prestigious psychiatrist, Phil Stutz, about his revolutionary psychological method. But not everything is what it seems. In this casual conversation, the roles of patient and therapist seem to interchange several times. Get ready to witness a therapy full of surprises. Lenox Hill. Attention, Grey's Anatomy fans! Have you ever wondered what daily life is like in a real hospital? This documentary tells you all the details. Follow the adventures of 4 emergency doctors at Lenox Hill Hospital in New York and be amazed by the cases they attend. It was shot in 2019, but the most interesting part happened later. Since it was planned to be released in mid-2020, a 9th episode was added about how doctors dealt with COVID-19 during the height of the pandemic, making it one of the starkest films of what happened in hospitals during those terrible days. This changes everything. Ready to learn the secrets behind the glamorous curtains of Hollywood? This documentary reveals the harsh truth of gender inequality in the film and TV industry, and how many women are fighting against it to make their way. You'll hear firsthand stories from actresses, producers, directors, and writers who have faced gender discrimination in their careers. But not everything is bad news. You'll also learn about the initiatives that are being carried out to counteract it. You'll be surprised by the secrets that are hidden. Human nature. How will genetic modification change the evolution of human beings? Or what will our relationship with nature be like from now on? Join David Sanchez, a young man with sickle cell disease who needs to implant red blood cells to alleviate his terrible pain. and a group of scientists on an adventure exploring the complications of CRISPR, a technique capable of editing the genetics of living beings. This documentary will blow your mind. Virunga. This feature film is about Virunga National Park, home to one of the last populations of mountain gorillas in the world. The park faces great dangers such as the Congo Civil War, poaching, and oil exploitation. The story will be told from the perspective of the park director, a ranger, a gorilla caregiver, and an investigative police officer, and will keep you on the edge of your seat until the end. An exciting journey to one of the most conflictive but fascinating places on the planet. Our universe. Morgan Freeman's voice will guide us on a journey that combines aspects of astronomy, biology, and above all, the everyday life of the most iconic animals on the planet. This is all to address subjects as grand as the origin of the universe and time, combined with more local ones, such as the rainy season cycle in the Serengeti savanna, to make it clear that the universe is fully connected. The use of special effects, computer-generated images, and cameras that bring us closer to wildlife help shape this masterpiece. The Elephant Whisperers. The Elephant Whisperers tells the story of an Indian couple who adopts a baby elephant and develops an incredible emotional bond with it. You'll be moved and fall in love with these majestic animals while learning about the culture, landscapes, and traditions of Indian tribes. This film isn't only heartwarming, but also a fun way to learn more about the world around us. Let's enjoy this adventure together with our new elephant friend. Learning has never been so fun. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. See you next time.